Good evening, folks. This is Deb, and that is Dave. And this is your Factivist report for Sunday, the 9th of July. We have one topic and one topic only tonight. It is Moms for Liberty. And anyone who thinks that this organization is a joke needs to really reassess that estimation, because they are a dangerous group of people. And we're going to tell you why tonight.
So originally I was going to do a short show about what Deb just said, that they're not a joke, that I'm tired of the Twitter posts of, if Moms of Liberty were a candy bar, what would they be? If Moms of Liberty were a movie, what would they be? Enough of that. They are a dangerous organization that grew from 2021 to 2023 and now have an infrastructure that is scary. They have money coming from somewhere, and nobody really knows where it is yet. But we know that they're worth more than $370,000. They don't get this kind of infrastructure with T-shirts. They have presence in 45 states with hundreds of chapters at this point. They have ties in government. Trump loves them. DeSantis loves them. And they have ties to the Florida RNC through one of their chairs, who stepped down to kind of stay in the background. They also have a law infrastructure through one of the California Moms for Liberty chairs. She created not only a book company, which we will talk about, but also an organization that helps them with legal, called Gavel. They have a very powerful infrastructure, and they are using it for Christo-fascist gains. I am not saying that to be dramatic or inflammatory or any of that. The Southern Poverty Law Center has already labeled them as a hate group, and there is more than ample evidence for that. So
if anybody paid attention to the meeting in Philadelphia this past weekend or a weekend ago, and heard the rhetoric, the anti-LGBT rhetoric, the hate coming from them about transgender people. This is a group that is fascist. This is a group that is oppressive. And this is a group that won't tolerate anybody outside their defined norm. And this is straight out of Nazi Germany, folks. This isn't a drill, and this isn't a joke.
So here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Moms for Liberty was founded in 2021. 3 Florida school board members. One of them has since dropped out. That is, her last name is Ziegler, I believe. They have ties to the Heritage Foundation. They have ties to the Proud Boys. They have people who spout QAnon stuff, all of that. They're also tied to the Heritage Foundation as well. They're also tied, and they tied themselves, by the way, to Nazi Germany ideology. And this is what I mean by that. The first version of the newsletter, the Moms for Liberty newsletter, included the quote, "He alone who owns the youth gains the future." They cited Hitler. Now, they since backtracked on it, said that parents should be disconcerted and concerned that a Hitler quote was used, because that's what the government is doing. The government is indoctrinating your kids. The government isn't banning books, except for in Florida, where the local gubernatorial government is banning books. So yes, government overreach is bad, but you're seeing it in Florida, where these women are or started. This is where this whole thing started.
Banning books is strictly being done by the Republican Party.
Right.
In Chicago, Governor Pritzker just passed a law against banning books. He's so nervous that it's going to start in his state.
Right.
I would like it to state one thing also. They started out initially as a group that was fighting against vaccines and mask mandates.
Right.
So many of these right-wing groups, but it did not stop there. Not only are they concerned about, making sure that kids are not taught about people who are different than them, LGBT people, Black people, critical race theory stuff. That's not where they're stopping. They are actually saying that in a school environment, cisgendered and straight kids should be segregated from gay kids. They are, off the chain. All right. This is not normal. This is not okay. This is scary.
And this is, in some ways, mirrors the Hitler Youth Program. Because just to give you a brief history of the Hitler Youth Program, the Hitler Youth Program was designed to promote Nazi ideology. Well, Moms for Liberty are designed to promote Christian ideology. And only Christian ideology, like Nazi Germany, only Nazi ideology. What did the Nazis do? They took all dissenting art, music, movies, performances, dance, anything with, by the way, homosexuality between men was expressly outlawed. Anything that was against pure Nazi rule and the master race. By the way, only with this, only pure Germans could join the Hitler Youth. So and we're going to get to that in a minute. I mean, this was a paramilitary group. Also, by the way, now we haven't gotten that far yet. However,
don't think for a fucking nanosecond they wouldn't take it that far.
Wait, this is from Brave Books, and this is a little children's show. Okay, I understand it's a children's show, but I'm making a point. If it'll come up. Here is a TV show where you have brave intelligence operations fighting socialism, how socialism is bad, and how young, brave agents can fight the perils of socialism. There we go. There he is. Well, there he was for a minute. This guy is like, posed in a military outfit and the whole thing. All right, hold on.
And we should state that this is coming from Moms from Liberty.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go into all of this, but Moms for Liberty, one of the founders, or one of the California founders, she created Moms for Libraries. and also created this book publisher called Brave. And we'll get into some of what Brave has done, but this is just, I understand it's a kid's show for now.
It doesn't matter that it's a kid show. What we're really seeing here is a group that is supposedly fighting indoctrination is indoctrinating kids.
Right.
They're the ones indoctrinating kids. They
They're
are the
teaching
ones.
socialism is bad. You can never change yourself from birth. There is the very first book that Brave came out with it was Elephants Aren't Birds. It was an elephant who could sing very well, so he thought he could be a bird. So Culture the vulture showed him how to be a bird, put a beak on him, and modified him physically. And then when a fire came, without him taking the beak off, he couldn't save the fourth. Come on, this is propaganda of the highest order. I'm just saying.
Again, it's lowering the whole. And anyone who can't hear what the message is there, that it's anti-trans, that's what it is. They're the ones doing the indoctrinating. They're teaching hate to children. Okay? And anyone who doesn't understand the whole, again, transgender thing, the whole gay thing, it doesn't start with your organs. It doesn't start with your physical attributes. Studies have shown that their brains are wired differently. They definitely are different.
By the way,
whether they like it or not.
This little 2-minute thing, obviously I'm not going to play it all, but this little 2-minute thing is a little exercise to show why socialism is bad. Now, we don't have pure total socialism in the United States. However,
socialism in the United States. Socialism is the people owning the businesses.
Right.
We don't have any socialism in the United States. We have what we call social programs like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, which, by the way, we pay into. We pay our taxes so that we have those earned benefits. It isn't socialism.
And guess what another socialist program is? One of the very things that they're attacking and trying to use at the same time, and that's libraries. Okay. What do? People donate books. You're able to check them out without paying for them and then returning them. Now, if you don't return them in time, you pay a small fine. That is a socialist program. So this is Tina Deskovich. She's one of the founders. So they don't co-parent with the government, by the way.
Yeah.
So this whole thing started with the classroom mask mandates, the school lockouts when like so many people were getting COVID and they were afraid to open the schools right away. Vaccines, which have been around forever. It started with that. Okay. And then slowly but surely it went into censorship.
Because it never just stops with what they start with.
So this group being a hate group is ridiculous. It's just shocking, Tiffany Justice told the Post. And by the way, Tiffany Justice is calling for the firing of Florida teachers for calling for acceptance of others because it's in violation of Don't Say Gay, basically. Because it's indoctrinating kids. So this is the report from the Southern Poverty Law Center. on Moms for Liberty. Now, again, Moms for Liberty is an anti-government organization founded in 2021 by former Florida school board members Tiffany Justice and Tina Deskovich. Current Sarasota County, Florida school board member Bridget Ziegler, whose husband, by the way, owns a company, which we'll get into, and also is in Florida state politics, is like the RNC chair, co-chair or chair, something like that. It's also a co-founder. Oh, pardon me. Bridget Ziegler left the organization formally, but she's kind of in the background because her ties were big in starting this whole thing, I believe. Her government ties, and also, which we'll get into. Moms for Liberty and its nationwide chapters combat what they consider woke indoctrination of children by advocating for book bans in school libraries and endorsing candidates for public office that align with the group's views. And by the way, even though they're calling for book bans in school libraries, they are looking to infiltrate public libraries with their events through Brave Books, just so you know. So, a couple of quotes. Let's see. This is Tiffany Justice. The K-12 cartel, also known as the National Teachers Union, met and drafted a proposal to replace the word mother with birthing person. This is insane and insulting to every mom in America. But don't worry, relief is coming because as teachers union pushes an agenda focus on everything but educating our children, American parents are rising up, taking back our school districts and putting the focus back on educating our children. To be clear, you will not be seeing Moms for Liberty rebranded as Birthing Persons for Liberty anytime soon. That's one. This is a tweet from the official Moms for Liberty page. Gender dysphoria is a mental health disorder, and I'll let you respond to that is being normalized by predators across the USA. California kids are extreme risk from predatory adults. Now they want to liberate their children all over the country. Does a double mastectomy on a preteen sound like progress? Go ahead, Deb.
You go back again to that.
To the birthing persons one?
That's not what they want to change the term to. They want to change the term to birthing parent. According to, by the way, that's according to that's to be inclusive to LGBTQ people.
Right.
They're not trying to belittle anybody, okay? It is not birthing person, it's birthing parent.
Parent.
Okay? They should at least get that part right, all right?
Right.
I just looked it up on the NEA website.
Right.
So that's number one. Being transgender and LGBTQ is no longer a mental disorder in America. It has been removed from the DSM. Okay? Right. That's a lie. Their brains are wired differently. Our brains, I should say me. I'm a lesbian. My brain is wired differently than my sister's brain. That doesn't make me less a person or mean I don't have any rights.
And by the way, nobody's getting double mastectomies as a preteen. As
preteens. That's a lie too. I have a transgender child. Is been talking about surgery since 17 years old, is now 22 years old and still hasn't done it yet. Taking their time, thinking about it, trying to figure out what they want.
If I had any mental issues, they would have been plowed down with a gun by now. That's Melissa Missy Bosch from the Lonoke County, Arizona chapter, indicted for terroristic threatening towards the faculty and staff of Cabot School District. She was recorded musing about gunning down a school librarian. This is chair of Moms for Liberty Miami chapter. The children are confused because of these insane agendas that are being shoved down their throats. Even the shooter, what, an 18-year-old transgender boy trying to be a girl. This is about the Uvalde, Texas thing.
One shooter in how many mass shootings was transgender? One.
We've
And
got 500.
by the way,
Yeah.
no teacher is encouraging students to be transgender.
No, they're not.
That's not what they're doing. These people are lying. I'm going to say it flat out. They're fucking liars. And they're misrepresenting everything. Everything that is being said here is a lie.
I was basically a student teacher for a while, and I have a master's of education. I wasn't really in the system that much, but I did see enough. And what I will say is that teachers have been in the past encouraged to teach anti-bullying and acceptance of others. Okay. And for the Moms of Liberty and DeSantis have pushed for taking down labels of safe spaces in classrooms, stickers that say coexist. So
if we all can't accept each other with our differences, I really don't want to hear how Christian these people are. I really don't, because that's a lie too. Let's just go full on lie here. All right.
so
Everybody has to look the same, be the same, think the same, act the same, want their pronouns to be the same, because they can homogenize society that way. That's not the way it works, folks. Not everyone is the same. This is straight out of fucking Nazi Germany.
we've got $500 for the person that first successfully catches a public school teacher breaking this CRT law. Students, parents, teachers, school staff, we want to know. We pledge anonymity if you want.
Yeah. Turn each other in. Let's turn society on each other. This is how they do things.
By the way, slavery existing isn't CRT. The extermination of Native Americans happened. Internment camps of Japanese, that happened.
And nothing
So
you can do to repress those facts in an educational environment makes any of that reality go away.
there's a couple more. Is this an example of Munchausen syndrome by proxy? Comment and retweet by Maine Moms for Liberty account. Tiffany Justice tweet. A mother discussing her 4-year-old exploring his gender.
Nope, it isn't.
My line in the sand is calling a singular human they, them. Go ahead and call me mean names. I can take it. You know what? I'm not even going to call you mean names. What I would like to call you is permanent ex-Florida school board member. That's what I would like to call you. I'm not going to call you any nasty names. I'm not going to call you KKK Karen. I'm not going to call you an asshole with a casserole. I'm not going to call you all of that. Okay? All of that is probably true, but at the same time, what good is it? Let's just get these people out of office so that they stop this. All right? These are students. We're not being indoctrinated. Students and teachers say Florida's new education laws stifle schools. In Florida, every single word that is uttered at this point has to be vetted. Teachers can't teach like that. That's basically teaching from a script. You have cardboard covering books. Basically, every book right now has to be vetted for content, even dictionaries. So So the libraries are basically ineffective at this point.
Some of the books that they've already determined can't be used. The Life of Roberto Clemente, The Life of Rosa Parks, The Diary of Anne Frank. I mean, I just, it boggles the mind that this is where we are here in America. This is the United States of America. This is Ron DeSantis's Florida. This is a fascist laboratory that now, it doesn't really matter, whether he becomes the presidential nominee or whether he wins the presidency or not. These women are all throughout the country now in 45 out of 50 states.
Including
anybody who thinks that, my mind is boggled by the people who think that the only two threats here in America are either Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump. We have a whole fucking government full of seditionists right now and fascists. And we have all of these groups outside of the government playing footsie with all of the people inside the government.
By the way, I checked and I have it at the end. My local, yes, has a chapter of about 5,000 women. And this is New York. Now, Massachusetts, I don't know. There are 45 states that have chapters right now.
I don't know. I hope not here.
Okay, so basically, Florida teachers say they're being silenced amid the rise of Moms for Liberty. Now, this is in conjunction with some of the laws that Ron DeSantis has put in, and regarding the use of pronouns and regarding transgender bathroom use, and regarding teaching and the indoctrination of kids and the use of certain teaching materials.
And why do you think there are so many teacher openings in Florida? Pray tell. We have a real teacher shortage there for a reason.
But don't worry about it. Moms for Liberty founders, no one's looking to ban books.
Sure.
They're
right?
just
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're just looking to remove books with adult and pornographic content.
Really?
Yeah.
You're full of shit. That's a
like
lot.
Dave has two daddies. I'm just saying.
Let's count up the lies here.
So this was an incident where you had a librarian in Tennessee. She wanted to do a lesson, a Mother's Day lesson, to teach that not everyone has a mom and a dad. Some people actually have two daddies. So, Mother's Day could be a little different for certain families. Moms for Liberty found out about it, and they did a nationwide campaign to stop this lesson. And they were successful, because there's nothing scarier to a school principal and a school superintendent than negative publicity. And they caved. And all this is a lesson about some families are different, and we're just asking you to accept it. But that is not possible with Moms for Liberty. This librarian was harassed, screamed at, called a groomer, all that kind of nonsense. Please tell me where the devious message is there. There is no devious message there. And this was a planned attack by Moms for Liberty. So, Moms for Liberty has a book ban document, even though they say they don't want to ban books. They have a 111-page Moms for Liberty document on books that they don't deem appropriate. Some of them have sexual content, have drug use, all of that kind of thing. But you're not looking to show that to a 5-year-old kid. Those are young adult books, and from my experience, some of those would probably even be behind the counter with librarians who would ask why they want to see it.
Their excuse for banning The Diary of a Young Girl about Anne Frank is because she talks about puberty there.
Right.
It's a reality. Every child is going to reach puberty. I'm sorry. I went to Catholic school, and that was a required reading book for when I was in grammar school.
So I'm going to get a little bit into this because this person is pretty good. Talking about their opening statement. Back to the document, with the opening of which is delicious. What started as a fight statewide to get our children out of mass and back into school has turned into so much more. Parents should have a say in what's available to our children within the school library and classrooms. We work so hard to provide our children with specific morals and values, and feel strongly that they should come home with from school with those morals and values intact. By the way, something I forgot in that Tennessee school district fight, or the lesson fight. Every time you plan a lesson, every time there's a lesson plan, you have to plan an alternative lesson in case one of the parents disagrees or does not want their child to participate, which she did. She planned an alternate lesson for any parent who disagreed with the use of that book about having two daddies.
You can opt out.
You can opt out.
That's fine. You want to keep your kid in a bubble? You go ahead and keep your kid in a bubble. But not every kid needs to be kept in a bubble. My kids weren't kept in a bubble. I don't want my fucking kids in a bubble.
Okay, here's the rating system. Here's their rating system as mothers. A 0. It's just pretty much everything has something in it. So some of the criteria that pushes books up to 2s and 3s is about what you'd expect: sex, violence, drug, and alcohol use. There are some criteria that are new to me. Hate, which seems to be anything that mentions the existence of race or gender and gender ideology, which can be explicit or non-explicit, and basically means modernish ideas about gender. As with any rating system, it's when you get to the filthy end that things get more fun. A 3 in this system is deemed inappropriate for anyone under 18 without parental guidance. A 4 is something that shouldn't be viewed with anyone under 18 at all. Level 4 books contain explicit sexual nudity, depictions of sexual organs, and a state of arousal.
Good to know. A soft penis is a 3 and a hard on is a 4. Well, I guess if we're talking inches.
And now you're asking what could possibly be a 5. Explicit references to aberrant sexual activity, including sexual assault, battery, bestiality, or sexual abuse. So one of the things that was mentioned here is that some students have been sexually assaulted and want to be able to know that other people identify with that. Literature is a way to do that. So game Moms for Liberty is playing is one where kids and teens are the same. It's a world of difference between having a book like Genderqueer in an elementary school library and having a book like Genderqueer in a high school library. And that's absolutely true. So Okay, let's get down to some of the ones that were marked. So, Push by Sapphire was a 5. Um, they counted they they do give moms a little credit. They counted puta as a swear, so I guess it's not English only curriculum. Um, Ellen Hopkins is the #1 edgelord for Teen Girls Change My Mind. I don't know this author actually. Of course, her books contain drug use, but they depict drug use as a shitty, ruinous, and very unglamorous lifestyle. If Ellen Hopkins created Breaking Bad, the story would center on Jesse blowing half the population of New Mexico to bankroll his meth habit. Nobody walks away from a Hopkins thinking drugs sound fun. So there was one in here, and it's circling. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Cited passage from the book Not That Bad, Dispatches from Rape Culture. When I was 12 years old, I was gang raped in the woods behind a neighborhood by a group of boys with the dangerous intentions of bad men. Now, would I would I recommend that to a preteen girl? No. Would I possibly recommend it to someone that I know has been sexually assaulted? Maybe, depending on, the age, and maybe even going to a parent.
You know,
Okay.
honestly, I I don't have a problem with a high school kid reading that.
Right, right,
This is up to them at this point.
right.
This isn't for people. This isn't for a group of freaking frigid, freaking white Nazi mothers to decide what everybody can read. You have parents. Parents should determine what kids can read. Did parents did these women worry when grammar school boys had playboys under their beds? Where were they then?
Right.
Okay, you have parents to do this job. The point here is you have parents do this job. You have parents who are supposed to be policing their own children. These women are not supposed to be doing that for parents.
They can do it for their kids.
Do it for
They
your own
don't.
goddamn kids. Keep your hands off everyone else's kids. Mind your goddamn business.
Now, these are the weak examples that I wanted to get to. So, problematic examples that Moms for Liberty highlight. From the perks of being a wallflower, he was also crying pretty bad, and he decided if anyone asked him, he would say his eyes were red from smoking pot. Okay.
Okay.
Categorizes drug use. Okay. From the hate you give, I swear I don't understand white people. That is categorized by hate by Moms for Liberty.
Jesus Christ.
Shit, I don't understand a lot of white people.
And I'm white.
Yeah, exactly. Which, holy shit, aren't you the same people always complaining about snowflakes? From the absolutely true diary of a part-time Indian, and I swear this will be the last one. During one week when I was little, Dad got stopped 3 times for DWI, driving while Indian. Okay, again, hate. Give me a break.
These people are dim. They really are. They're scary and they're dim.
Now, when they started in January of 2021, Rush Limbaugh fawned all over them, and Fox News followed, and everybody was losing their mind about how wonderful they are. So they had to have some kind of money behind them. Everybody is looking for the money behind them. There's no way that they are worth 300 and some $1,000 right now.
Selling fucking t-shirts.
Selling t-shirts. Come on. So The group, which claims to be about parent rights, has ties to the January 6th insurrection and Christian nationalists.
That's all you have to know.
They also have a chapter in Bucks County. So this is written by Maurice Cunningham in October of 2022. So it's hard to believe that three mothers in Florida could start up a grassroots group on January 1st, 2021, and then within a matter of weeks and months, wind up on Rush Limbaugh, Tucker Carlson's show, Glenn Beck, and Fox News. However, there is a shadowy network of money and influence in right-wing political circles that could arrange that easily. Now, as I said, one of the Moms for Liberty, one of the original Moms for Liberty, he was involved in the Republican and is a leader in the Republican National, or the RNC in Florida. Okay. And I think that's where it starts. He also has ties to a company that does digital advertising, which we'll talk about in a minute. So among M4L's financial supporters and profile boosters are some of the most influential organizations, media operations, and wealthy donors in the vast theater of right-wing propaganda machine. So we have Donald Trump, we have Ron DeSantis, then we have, the Proud Boys, then we have the Heritage Foundation.
And by the way, they're fielding candidates for school boards.
Yeah, we're getting there. So here's what I was talking about. Moms for Liberty pays $21,000 to a company owned by the founding member's husband. Now, this is the one that dropped out. So the group gave the money to Micro Targeted Media, founded by Christian Ziegler, a current Sarasota County Commissioner and Vice Chairman of the Florida GOP, in late August. Apologies, I said RNC, I meant GOP. So Bridget Ziegler was one of the founders of Moms for Liberty, and that is Christian's wife. So she served as its director through February of 2021. And she joined the Sarasota School Board in 2014 and was reelected this past summer. She was not named by the other two founders in numerous early press interviews. An omission some critics charge was meant to distance the group from Florida's GOP power structure. Now, I don't think that is a critique. I just think it's a fact.
Right.
Moms for Liberty contributed $250 to her school board campaign in mid-July. Now, we're going to look at these school board elections, and we are going to include them in our Facebook page and our social media stuff. These are important. This is part of the governmental infrastructure, and we have to take this influence out of education, where it is only Christian ideology and nothing else. You want to teach your kid that, or we'll get into should they be allowed to read brave books in libraries. Should they? If they allow all the other information to be read, sure, but they're not doing that.
Right.
Okay. You can't play that game. No.
A public library is a public library.
Right.
That's the end of the line right there for me.
It's public.
And a public school is a public school. You want to do this in a Christian school? Then you can go ahead and do it in a private Christian school where people are paying to send their kids there. Okay? My mother wanted me to have a Catholic school education. She didn't force the goddamn public school system to acquiesce to her needs and her wants. She moved me to a Catholic school.
Now, there is going to be a fight. Moms for Liberty poised to clash with teachers' unions over school board races nationwide. Teachers' unions are tired of Moms for Liberty already. They're looking to hamstring.
Make sure they don't acquiesce to them. They need to fight them back all the way to the ground. I don't care what it takes.
We're talking about the potential health of not only the students, but the teachers and the staff as well, in regards to a pandemic. Let's say it happens again, or an epidemic. Let's say it happens again. And the mask mandates and the vaccines and school closings, if it's necessary, all of that stuff. And then the ideology to take the idea of safe spaces out of school is unconscionable.
So in other words, what you're basically advocating for is open season on LGBTQ plus kids. That's what you're doing. You okay with that, everyone?
This is another one. Moms for Liberty focus on school races nationwide, sets up political clash with teachers unions. This is not just Florida. Okay, Wisconsin won several school board elections with these candidates recently. Now, they ran 30 and I think they won like 8 races. That's too many.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there's one of them. They're running for state committee seats now, by the way. Marie Rogerson, who is another founder. And we have Alex Bologna, whatever. The only thing in Brevard I want to see turn blue is our lagoon, said Rogerson.
Yeah, well, we want to turn blue.
Yeah. So this is Marie Rogerson, military brat, parent, and activist.
Yeah.
So there she is.
Lily Whitebread. Have a nice day.
Okay, so we have a California Moms for Liberty person who created several parts of this infrastructure. She created a legal infrastructure, and she created part of the propaganda infrastructure. Moms for Libraries, by the way, which we will get into. The same thing. Moms for Liberty is Moms for Libraries, and she helped create Brave, which, guess who one of the authors of Brave books is? Deb knows.
Yep, I do. Another horse's ass. Another Hollywood has-been.
It's okay. Let me get this jackass on there we go. We have Kirk Cameron, who has the balls to say that the American Library Association is censoring Christian beliefs.
That's crap.
Moms for Liberty, Moms for the Libraries, and Kirk Cameron and all of these people, you can say whatever you want as long as everybody has a level playing field. You say that direct time story hour is cool. We'll allow you guys to sit there, but you're not going to replace one idea with another.
And let me just tell you another thing. All right. I'm a parent who does not want my child exposed to this kind of Christian stuff.
Right.
Don't. This is not my values. These are not my values.
Right.
None of this. All right. This is for a church. You want this shit? You teach this stuff at home. You do not bring it into the public spectrum. It is nothing to do with oppressing this, okay? This is stuff that you instill in your child as a parent. This is not stuff that my children should have to look at when they go to the fucking library. I'm sorry. All these whiny, sniveling. Yeah, let's start with school boards. Now we're going to go after public libraries.
Kirk Cameron was talking about an event that they're going to have in August where they want Moms for Liberty, Moms for Libraries to schedule reading events where they read brave books to kids.
Good. Put them in a room.
Right. But you know what?
Fucking door.
But you know what? In the next room, you have to have available drag show, story hour, or whatever.
You know what?
Everything.
I'm sorry, folks. That's the way it works. You have your kids attend the one you want, and other people have the right to determine what their kids can read or who reads to their kids.
So I want you to understand this. Ron DeSantis put in laws against the indoctrination of kids, and then we have a book company, Brave Books, pushing ideology onto kids.
Indoctrinating kids.
Replacing what DeSantis doesn't like with what DeSantis likes.
Right.
I didn't know DeSantis parented all the kids in Florida.
Well,
I thought we were talking about parental rights.
Well, no, yeah, well, that's right. As long as the parental rights match his ideology.
Right.
That's what fascism is.
So, this is the very first book that was published under Brave Books. Okay. Ashley St. Clair, Elephants Are Not Birds. There was an elephant. He could sing very well. So, Culture the vulture decided that the elephant should become a bird. So they put a beak on him and, whatever. They put feathers on him or whatever. And then later on, the whole forest was in danger of burning down because the elephant didn't have access to his trunk. Trying to change yourself.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm just.
Jesus Christ on a cracker. I mean, really, it's amazing, the simplistic thinking of these people. Right. Everything is just so simple to them because they're simpletons, is what I'm saying.
The problem is that when you try to teach a concept like this to a kid, it is so reductive that it's so clear cut that maybe a kid will change his or her mind because of something they're taught. And guess what that's called? Indoctrination. The exact same thing that they said that the blue culture or that the Democrats are doing. And other than the ALA fighting back with Kirk Cameron and these guys, trying to flood library rooms with this, which I understand the whole strategy to this thing. Oh, look, they said they didn't want censorship, but they're censoring us. No. They don't want you replacing the stuff that you took away with your ideological reductive crap. Okay, that's what they want. So I'm waiting for this.
It's just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand, what I guess my frustration here is I don't think I understand how people can't see what's going on here.
I don't think that I don't think that people realize how serious it is yet.
Well, when will they realize it?
I don't know.
I don't know. When did they realize it in Nazi Germany?
Right.
When it was too late. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We have history. We have this thing called history, which, by all standards, we don't want that taught in the United States if you're on the right. But the fact of the matter is you can access all of this information somewhere and see what's going on here. Just look at history. Look what happened there. It's all happening here right now in real time. Okay? It is, all of it. And I am constantly amazed. I had someone come on and say the other day that Biden hasn't, convinced him he should vote for him. So I go to look at his profile, and he's got a freaking thing on his profile on Facebook. I voted for Bernie. I said, so let me just give you a little tip. Bernie's not running, and Bernie has endorsed Joe Biden. Okay.
Right.
You know what? We are in a simple fight here in America right now. Let me break this down to you as small as I can. It's either democracy with all of its imperfections, and we know they're there, or it's fascism with no solutions for anybody. Now, you might think because you're white and straight that you're safe. But what they actually want is no one who thinks differently than them, even thinks differently than them. And eventually they will come for you. And I don't understand people not standing up for each other. And I don't understand people not understanding that this is not just another election cycle coming up. It isn't. None of this is okay. When they start infiltrating at the school board level, they're serious. Okay? They're serious. They're taking it from the ground up.
Okay. So let me try once again to share this, because this is one of the more dangerous people, because she helped create a lot of this infrastructure. A new campaign. This is from February 1st, 2022. So a new campaign launched through Moms for Liberty is about to create a host of confusion for those working to ensure intellectual freedom. And this is what I'm talking about with the whole, going into libraries and reading brave books and, oh, this is censorship, blah, 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 blah. They're not allowing us, The campaign Moms for Libraries seeks to infiltrate school libraries with liberty-minded books, like the, An Elephant Isn't a Bird book. It was launched by Catherine Ramain, who founded the Orange County, California chapter of Moms for Liberty. Remember that name. And if she's running for school board in that county, she needs to be voted out. She helped create Brave Books, and she also is a chair of something called the Gavel Project.
Can we go back for 1 minute?
Yeah.
I just want to read one other thing here to people on this book thing. Brave Books is an organization publishing books that, quote, empowers this generation's youth with conservative values. That's indoctrination. Right. While, quote, glorifying the Lord in all we do. That's, honestly, that's an offense against the First Amendment to the Constitution.
It is.
End of story.
They call themselves a conservative alternative to the current progressive agenda that dominates our culture. Listen, if you don't want to be a part of that culture, you don't have to be, but you don't have a right to tell other people how to think.
Right. And by the way, you want your kids to read books that instill conservative values in them and glorify the Lord in all they do, then you go ahead and do that. I don't want my kids reading that crap.
Good catch. But here's so the Gavel Project. Just read the top.
Arizona's illegitimate election. Yeah, here we go. That must be Kevin McCarthy with that gavel. Or maybe it's Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, I don't think Kevin McCarthy would be able to hit the little thing.
Yeah.
He'd be too scared.
Yeah, he's a
But but here's okay. So gavel gear. I'm really tempted. Why not? I gotta say it.
I can't wait.
Better a gavel than a gun. Well, thank you so much for your interest in gavel gear.
I'm not interested in gavel gear. Thanks.
Well, I want to see, I want to see the marvelous products. And my computer is
Not cooperating. They don't want it. Your computer
protesting. They don't want me to see it either.
Look,
Look, tank tops, kids clothing, stickers, mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats. Jesus Christ.
wait, that's next.
Okay, that's enough. I want to see our team though. Let's see. Oh,
Always get that right wing haircut.
yep. So here we go. Ryan Heath, President and CEO. By the way, Moms for Liberty is also a 501c.
Yeah.
So anti-woke nonprofit.
Yeah. Yeah. In other words, we don't give a fuck about anybody but ourselves. That's what we are.
Ryan Heath, Catherine Raymond, and Jordan Heath. So there you go. Oh, look, that flag must be a chair too. So there you go. But the Gavel Project is their legal arm. And here is Brave Books. Okay. Moms for Libraries and Brave Books. A new children's book every month exploring a new principle or value that makes America great.
Little lives matter. Oh, good God. I need something to drink.
These books teach concepts about self-acceptance, unless you're gay or transgender.
Transgender.
Jesus Christ.
The prejudice. What a lie that is.
So there you go. All right.
I can't stand this guy.
Yep.
Has been. Can't make it in Hollywood anymore. Got to make it somewhere.
He is a Hollywood icon, Deb. That's what they called him.
Really?
And
Yeah.
God have mercy.
God help me.
Open intolerance for religious beliefs. It's amazing.
Bye.
So, all right. Some of the Moms for Liberty stuff, it's also legislative, and they are an enforcement arm in some ways, a messaging enforcement arm of DeSantis, at least in Florida. You have Tiffany Justice, pounding the table, calling for teachers to be fired for violating the law. Oh, crap. You can't hear that, can you?
What?
Hold on.
I can hear the
Kirk Cameron has infiltrated my ears. The computer shut down for a second, and it went to the video, and it's playing in my headset. Hold on. So here's where I'm going with this. Ron DeSantis has put in laws. Transgenders are no longer, hold on.
They can't use public bathrooms.
They can't, no, actually, hold on 1 second. Shut up. Thank you. I took one of the sources out because it was barking in my ear. So what it is, public governmental facility bathrooms. So if it is, I don't know, police station or whatever, I don't know, like city hall, I don't know.
What are they gonna do? Piss in a cup?
Right. And I'm sure they're talking about schools, obviously,
Oh, obviously.
but he kind of expanded it as well. So if you were a transgender girl identifying as a male, you can't go into the men's bathroom. You have to use the girls' bathroom. Now, I know of someone, I've gamed with this person. I haven't seen her in a while because we haven't gamed probably since 2019 when the pandemic hit. But she's a very nice lady at this point. I knew her when I considered her a kid. She was like 19 years old. When she was 22, she went into a Walmart bathroom and she was basically harassed and insulted by a right winger. And she made a video about it and it went viral. Her name at the time was Amy Toms. You can check it out. Basically, the point I'm making with that is this issue with bathroom acceptance has been around for a very long time, and it's not just Florida. She happened to be in Connecticut, which Deb has told me it's not the most,
I'm not surprised.
not the most accepting.
Heads up their asses in Connecticut too.
Right. Now,
Massachusetts is a great place to be. It doesn't mean all of New England is. Another place I would never step foot in, quite frankly. And, it's too bad because there's a lot of beautiful parts to it, but I'm not the least bit interested in ever going to New Hampshire again for any reason. I'm really just not.
Ron DeSantis not only put in that law, but laws against using certain pronouns, identifying pronouns without consulting with a parent first, against putting any kind of stuff on the wall about safe spaces, coexist, rainbow stickers, any of that.
I believe in Florida they took all of those stickers off the doors of the schools.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Nice.
So
in other words, you declare an open season on anyone who isn't straight and cisgender. Right. It's, all bets are off now.
And for nothing, minorities as well.
Yeah.
So my point being that Tiffany Justice, you'll see her, as I said, pounding the table. These teachers must be fired. They're breaking the law. By the way, these laws are being challenged as being unconstitutional.
Yeah, they should be.
Okay. So, let's see here.
If you're in the state of Florida, so I'm talking to all you people out there right now, I'm just letting you know, I'm encouraging as many people as possible to no longer go to the state of Florida. People need to turn off the fucking tourist money. Enough.
Right.
If you're not fighting back in your state, if you're allowing your state to be turned into a fascist hellhole, I'm sorry, folks. They will eventually come for you.
All right. Hold on 1 second. I have a couple more things I want to talk about because I want to talk about how accepting and how God-fearing and how loving these people actually are. I know I didn't talk much about the conference, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Hold on one second, because I'm starting to freeze up a little bit. Oh Lord, did my sources completely went away. So hold on. Basically, what I'm gonna, and this will be in the sources. The two things. One Moms for Liberty member took the account of someone who had died and used that account to harass and bully people. So that's one thing. And another thing is recently, I believe at this Moms for Liberty meeting, that happened to have a bunch of the right wingers and, of course, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. there.
And by
One,
the way, let me just state this. Nearly every candidate on the GOP side, it wasn't just DeSantis and Trump that was there. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just going to tell you, they're normalizing this group. And when someone like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is supposedly a Democrat, is normalizing this group, you have to understand he's not a Democrat, not in any sense of the word. He's a
So
fascist, is what he is.
one of these members, and I'll have it in the sources, and it's in a tweet. I don't know if she said it specifically at a meeting that Joe Biden and his son Hunter should be executed. Now,
For what? Any reason behind that?
it was treason. I don't remember the exact reason, whatever, I don't know what right wing horseshit bullshit thing she came up with at the time. But the bottom line is, isn't that a crime to threaten the president of the United States?
It should be. Yeah.
I thought it was. I'm just saying. Let me see if I can get these back. I was just like, so, uh, I wanted to show it, but, I might not be able to because my computer's acting goofy. Oh, okay. Hold on. Get to restore the pages, please. Uh, Now it went away. I'll find it again. But yeah, it was a tweet from a Moms for Liberty member, and she called for the execution of Hunter and Joe. Let me see if I can find this. Nah. But the last thing I want to say is that I checked. I'm not going to put it in the sources, but check your area, because more likely than not, your area has a Moms for Liberty chapter at this point. And if you do have a Moms for Liberty chapter in your area, um, I would suggest you look to see who's running for school board. Let's see. It's going to bother me now. Here we go. So, and this is for real. This is Kaylee Campbell Layton. Biden left many military service dogs to die in Kabul after the evacuation. I'm calling for the public execution of this old man, and you can't change my mind.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go. The Peace Coast rocket. Good Lord. Oh. And so Florida's new bathroom law went into effect, criminalizing trans people using government-owned public restrooms that align with their gender. The Safety in Private Spaces Act. He insists it's not about targeting any particular group of people. Oh, okay. It's one final point I want to make, because I heard this from Konst too, the Mickey Konst. A woman should not be in a locker room having to worry about someone from the opposite sex being in their locker room. Now, what have we talked about recently? Beauty pageants owned by a certain
Former president.
former president
Yeah.
who just
Orange
burst into
Jackaloon. The former president known as the Orange Jackaloon.
who just broke into his. Now I understand he owned a beauty pageant, but he doesn't own the the safe space of all of those.
He doesn't own the women
young
that are in the
girls.
beauty pageant. He just thinks.
Correct.
But of course, if you listen to what he said to Bob Woodward, everything's mine. Everything's mine, Bob.
Right.
You know.
So Ron, if Donald holds a beauty pageant, are you going to hold to those principles and make sure he doesn't bust into those beauty pageants and look at half naked 15-year-old girls? Yeah, freaking hypocrite and fascist. The rules apply to the people that they want them to apply to.
That's correct.
Just so you know, that's what this whole thing is about. But Moms of Liberty, they are a dangerous, dangerous group. Okay. And as I've said, they want to, if they're not going to control public libraries. If they want to be able to have their little events with those kids and read those books to those kids, that's fine. But leave everyone else alone to read the books that they want and lift the insane school book ban in schools and allow the teachers to teach.
I agree.
Okay. This is not going to, if this continues to be allowed in Florida, you know what's going to happen in other states.
And by the way, I'm just going to say this. This is not American values, what they're promoting here. None of this is America's values.
No.
None of it. No matter
American
what they're
values,
telling you, it is not.
American values is supposed to be the melting pot. American values is supposed to be acceptance of another. I remember in between 2004 and 2012, yes, I was in school for a long time. The big thing was cultural diversity training. That was the huge thing. Anti-bullying, social acceptance. All of that is going away. And that is a dangerous, dangerous thing. And by the way, history exists, whether you like it or not. The whitewashing of history is not going to make it go away. And making this part of history. So
That's
not making the kids feel bad. It's making the fascists feel bad. Actually, the fascists don't want to face it.
because you're snowflakes.
That, and they're doing exactly what they don't want to see.
Right.
So that's what we have. I may or may not be here next week. I might not be. I know Deb's Deb's planning on doing a show on the females running for office. And hey, she may do a separate show or may spread it to LGBT candidates as well. I don't know, and minority candidates. She may split them up. I don't know, but government's supposed to be
the women running for office that you don't want to vote for as well.
right. Now, we talk about representative government. These guys, they don't want representative government. They want
No, they don't.
Christian government. They want a dominionist government ruled by Christians.
Look, I posted the quote from Nick Fuentes today on Facebook, where he said, what we want here is a dictatorship so we can make people do what we want them to do and force people to think the way we think. That's not anything that's small, okay? That's not just a statement. This guy had dinner with Donald Trump. Donald Trump invited him and Yi to Mar-a-Lago. And you know what? Donald Trump can tell you he doesn't know who Nick Fuentes is, and Donald Trump is full of shit. He is a proven liar, a pathological liar. He most certainly did know who Nick Fuentes is.
And who knows what Donald Trump showed Nick Fuentes and Yi too.
Correct.
Maps of Korea, the Moms for Liberty, friggin' who killed Kennedy? I don't know. By the way, if you vote for Trump, he's talking about declassifying all the files on Kennedy again.
And you know what? Guess what? Donald Trump said he was going to declassify all those documents when he ran in 2016. Did he? No,
yep, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't. You know what? Donald Trump said he was going to make sure that Hillary Clinton went to jail. Did he? No, he didn't. But guess what? Donald Trump's going to fucking jail. He is. Okay?
It's really getting close.
Yeah.
It's really getting close.
Yeah.
So
he's going to fucking jail.
But not for nothing, the next one that needs a downfall is Ron DeSantis, because he is the most dangerous person running for office, because he could actually potentially win. Don't kid yourself.
His candidacy is tanking right now.
It's tanking right now, but it's a long way before 24. You got 2 years. Remember, Biden had that long stretch where he was floundering, blah blah blah. Trump, he was looking like he was gonna fall out. It does happen, but DeSantis scares the living hell out of me.
Well, I'll tell you what scares the hell out of me. He scares the hell out of me. Trump scares the hell out of me. But what really scares the hell out of me is the House and the Senate going to the GOP.
That too.
I've got to tell you, that's my number one fucking concern. We need the House back, and we need to expand the Senate.
And the other thing that scares me is these organizations that just pop out of freaking nowhere, like Moms for Liberty. And what's a name? Who was it? There was another one that just came out of nowhere. I can't remember her name right now. She was who was it? Is she involved with Moms for Liberty?
Which one? Who is it?
She's gay and she's against transgender or something, or she's transgender against transgender.
Caitlyn Jenner?
No. There's another one. You know who I'm talking about.
I do. There's a group that's gays against transgender.
Right. It was a Twitter group.
Yeah, I don't really understand that. I happen to be a lesbian, And you know what? All I'm going to say about those gays, they're not my people. Those
Right.
are people who forget.
Oh, lives of TikTok.
Yeah, the libs of TikTok. Right.
Right.
She's not, they're not,
Right.
they're not gay.
Rachich or Rachich,
Yeah.
Ravich,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. That's, she's not gay. They're not gay. They're
Right.
not
But
libs. And they're not libs either. That's a sarcastic use of the
right.
term. They are virulently anti-gay and virulently anti-trans. They are not lesbians. None of them.
Right. But the whole point is that all of a sudden in 2021, all of these groups started coming out, and all of this.
Well,
There's
they're
an
on the
infrastructure.
bandwagon. They need someone to demonize. They're on the
Right.
bandwagon.
Right.
No,
But there is an infrastructure behind all of this crap.
Immigrants, LGBTQ people, transgender people. That's
Right.
the progression in America.
Well, the big thing to start it was, let's start something that nobody really likes to do: vaccinate, masking, not go where they want to go. Let's start there and then start weaseling our way into
That's what they do.
attacking groups.
That's what they do. That's
Yep.
exactly right.
Yeah.
And they build all of that nonsense about masking and whatever. They call that medical freedom. My kids went to school from the time they were in grammar school right up through high school. I had to show vaccination every single year. I have no problem with that. I didn't feel as though I was having my medical freedom infringed on, my kids were. It's called public health. Okay, they've taken public health and turned it into a bad word. They turned it into all of a sudden your rights are being assaulted. Give me a fucking break, okay? Stop it already. Frankly, I'm glad I don't have to send my kids to school now, because you know what? I don't want my kids sitting in a classroom with kids who aren't vaccinated against the COVID virus. I don't.
Right. Right.
I don't.
And you don't want your kids involved in the bile that's being spread either.
Absolutely.
I mean, I understand you guys are in Massachusetts. I get that. But this stuff is spreading.
Yeah, it is. That's why why I personally, you'd be hard pressed to get me out of the state. Really.
But do me a favor and just check to see if you have a local Massachusetts Moms for Liberty branch. I'm just curious. Because if there's one in Massachusetts.
Hang on one second. All right. Let me look that up. Let me check that out.
And by the way, just because there are 5,000 members in that Suffolk County group doesn't mean they're all from Suffolk County either.
Right.
And one thing I did want to mention is that the Moms for Liberty Facebook groups are private. You can't see any of the information. Now, we have private groups, but there is public information out there. We only keep people from posting crap.
I don't see that there is one here.
Okay.
Let me just check.
It would make sense that you guys are one of the one states that doesn't have it.
Wait. Wait a minute. So there is a Moms for Liberty in Middlesex County, Massachusetts on Facebook.
Okay.
Be kind and courteous. This is their group. I can't wait to go in and visit them.
Let me know if it's an open group.
270 members.
Yeah.
0 new posts today, 20 in the last 28 days, created about a year ago. The group is private.
Right. Exactly.
I'm going to go see if I'm going to go send them a post of a rainbow flag and see what they do with it. Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that the state of Massachusetts doesn't have assholes in it. It does.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
But what I'm saying is the government in the state of Massachusetts isn't having any of it.
Right.
It isn't.
Right.
Now,
New York is
great. What I can say with great assurance is that Maura Healey is not having any of it. The Massachusetts legislature, by the way, 40 senators in the state Senate, 3 Republicans, 160 reps in the House in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
134 are Democrats, 24 are Republicans, 1 is unaffiliated. That's
Okay.
going nowhere here.
Right.
And we're going to keep it that way in 2024. I promise you.
Yeah. I mean, we need one state like that.
Well, Michigan's good.
Yeah.
Maryland's good. Minnesota's good. All the M's seem to be doing it.
Right. Right.
They've got trifectas. They're protecting people. Michigan's on a roll. I mean, you know, I'll say it again. Gretchen Whitmer is a force of nature.
Yeah. Deb will be talking about Gretchen Whitmer, and she'll be talking. Yep. Yep.
She's doing exactly what she said she was going to do when she ran.
She needs to stay in Michigan for now. Yes, but she may be a presidential candidate in the future.
She would. She might be. I actually hope she is.
Right. Right.
I actually hope she's the first woman president, to be perfectly honest with
but
you.
not in 2024, boys and girls. It's Biden.
No, she's not. It isn't. No, she's not running. She already said she's not running. And she's actually just launched her pack for Biden. She's going to be all over the country for him.
Right. As is Newsom, I believe.
He is.
And
he's
probably Sanders as well.
Already. He's gone. He's good.
Right.
And by the way, let me just say this. On the 7th of this month, which was 2 days ago, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez publicly endorsed Joe Biden for president. She said he's been able to do amazing things, given the limitations he's had. So, Democratic Party unity. That's what we need here.
And by the way, 1945 is an online rag. They're doing the problem with Joe Biden, the problem with Hunter Biden, the problem with AOC, the problem with this one, the problem with that one. Don't bother.
Yep, I'm good. Yeah, I don't read that crap. Well, I read that crap, but I don't share that crap because that's crap.
Right, exactly.
So
anyway.
All right, gang. We'll be back next week with more fun and frolic.
All right. Jeez.